Matthew 5:4. Makarioi hoi penthuntes, hati autoi paraklethesantai. Here we continue with the famous Macarisms, or blessings from Jesus' Sermon on the Mount. Blessed, implied are, those who mourn, those who weep, for or because they will be comforted. It's important to remember that Jesus began this sermon, if you look back, by addressing his disciples. This isn't addressed just generally to the broad culture, but it's addressed to Jesus' disciples. And he says, those who mourn, hoi penthuntes, that's from the verb pentheo. We write that out. You say, oh, that's one of those contract verbs where the last letter of the stem is an alpha, omicron, or epsilon. So it causes some spelling problems, doesn't it? We have our normal participle ending there, antes, that comes in, and those combine to be u. So this, and the article does a lot of the work for us. This is nominative masculine plural. It's a present active participle, and it's used substantively. It's used as a noun. The ones who mourn, the ones who weep, and there's an implied to be verb here, are blessed, right? Are blessed. Makarioi, that's the predicate adjective. For, or because, they will be comforted. When we look at that last verb there, what jumps out at you? Perhaps a theta, and you say to yourself, oh yeah, Plummer has told me when I have a theta, it's like a big recliner, like a big easy chair. Somebody is kicking back and feeling passive. And perhaps you recognize this ending, thesantai, as being a future passive indicative ending. That's a third person plural. They will be comforted. It's from the verb parakaleo. Parakaleo. We write that out and you say, oh yeah, I see that part. That's my prepositional prefix there. And then I have the verb kaleo. Oh yeah, and the verb kaleo often has zero vowel gradation. Kaleo will often just become kl. So, those of you who remember that, when you saw that kl, you thought, oh, that's from kaleo, and you say, oh, that's parakaleo, to be comforted. So again, we will just translate this verse. It's one of these famous verses from the Sermon on the Mount one more time. Blessed are those who mourn, implied are here, for they will be comforted. Perhaps this last verb here, as a passive, should be classified as a divine passive, because clearly God is the agent. They will be comforted by God.